Good morning. It's Thursday, and we've already read chapter 1 and moving on to chapter 2. I so enjoyed chapter 2, all about Tamar and and the family. And at the end of the chapter, when dies, and so we're just moving forward. Many of you have wanted to move and just read the whole book, and go ahead and do that. For us that are a little bit slower, just reading one chapter at a time, that's great as well. I've read the whole book, but I'm reading it again just for you, so I can read chapter by chapter just like you are. So I've enjoyed it again the second time. I think I learned a few more things. But if you would turn to page 140 with the questions, they're all pretty easy to answer. If, when you read the book, you kind of know the answers. So I don't really need to go over those with you. It did take you back a little bit to Noah and his kids, just to show you that the Canaanites were not good, and that God did not want his people, the children of Israel, to associate with them, to marry them. And not because he didn't like them, it's because that they worshiped other gods. They worshiped and threw their babies into the hand of, what is his name? Anyway, into the burning, and which said that he was going to throw his babies into the lake or into the fire to a god. And they just served really gods that were wood and gods that were idols. And I think it's really interesting where Tamar, not even her family, really wanted to know anything about the King of Kings and the God of Israel. They didn't want to know anything about it either, and she was the one who chose that she wanted to do that. So it's a good story in all that Tamar did. But again, on page 140, the scripture verse out of Proverbs 6, it relates so much to the story. So it says this: there are 6 things that the Lord hates. No, there's 7. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who sows discord among brothers. So, I mean, the whole story with these brothers, we've got and Selah and Ornan, the 3 boys, and they sowed discord among each other. The wife, she sowed discord among her husband and the sons. And it was such a tragic family. But God had ordained that family to be righteous and to be good. He was one of the 12. Remember, because we talked about that. Judah was one of the 12 boys. And we'll find out at the end of the story that Judah does do what's right, but it's taken him forever. But Tamar was the one who brought him around, even though it was so hard on Tamar. I talked to one of the gals, and she said, oh my gosh, I couldn't live that way. I would have to just probably kill myself. I get it. I get it. I would be there too, like, run away, girl. But the story says that she didn't. And so God did some great things for her. And so he would not allow Tamar. But Tamar marries his second son, and we'll find out more about that in chapter 3. So I don't want to give away all the great things that are in this book. But she reads on page 142, find God's way for you. Judah was grieving over the past as well as the present, and he was gripped with fear for the future. And it's here, what kind of fear grips you? Is there a fear in your life that grips you from maybe having children, maybe from getting married, maybe from going to church, maybe from, just being friends and having and getting along with your fellow people who work with you? It can keep you. It shows here that it kept Judah away from his whole life. And fear is such a thing that will really stop you in your tracks. That's why in the Bible, Jesus says so many times, an angel will come, do not fear. The very first thing they say, do not fear. Do not fear. It says, stop and ponder. This is a scripture verse in John 14:6 and Revelation 3:20. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. Look, here, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear me calling and open the door, I will come in and I will share a meal as friends. A great time that you could share with your children, your grandchildren, your spouse. Because I believe every one of you are born again. But just sharing the word is so important. And this book would be easy to share with someone because it's an easy read. It's a story. It's not something that would, it's not just reading the Bible. It's reading a great story that's in the Bible. She makes it so easy. Okay, girls, we're starting chapter 3 on Monday. Let me know how you're doing. Text me and tell me if you haven't read the book, you started the book, you've got a little ways in the book. But we got just a few more weeks because there's 6 chapters. So looking forward to it. Great question at the end. And if you look on your bookmark, we've got a question and money attached to it. So let's go, girls. We're going to have a great time. God bless you.